more efficient with the feed, meaning they gain more per pound of food than the larger frame. I can't find really a lot of definitive research to back that up, but that's their anecdotal experience. A lot of the parents claim that they're a little more mild-tempered.
They're easier on fences, equipment, and pasture. You can have 2 or 3 minis in the same space as one full-size cow. The meat from an animal that reaches a mature weight of 800 pounds versus 1,300 pounds also means a smaller freezer.
They have smaller portion sizes. You know, a ribeye steak from a miniature is going to be, if you're doing the carcass data, somewhere between probably a 7 and 10-inch, square-inch loin eye. So the larger ones are probably going to be between 9 and 16-inch square-inch loin eye. So smaller portion sizes from smaller animals. I'm worried about nutrition.
Learn more about miniature cattle at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com.
It's football time in Tennessee, and Hammers Dry Goods is stocked up with game day clothing for the whole family. We're also receiving new shipments of clothing every day for hiking, fishing, and outdoor fun. Ladies and girls boutique fashions are 25% off Hammers' regular low-marked prices. Check out our huge inventory of ladies' boutique-style shoes and boots at discount prices. Come and see our complete fall lineup of ladies' fashion goods and accessories from Simply Southern. Check from a special purchase of comfort color sweatshirts and long-sleeve tees at Hammers' low prices. Choose from our largest inventory ever of Wrangler, ATG, hiking, and work pants. We also have stacks upon stacks of famous brand men's boots for $99. Visit Hammers Facebook and Instagram for daily deals and new items. Come see us at our new location in the Big Brick Building right across from Anderson County High School, or visit our other locations, Sevierville, Wartburg, Halls, and Newcastle. If you miss a day, you miss a bargain.
Hasn't been to Hammers, you should see us now.
Today's Daily Encouragement by William the Encourager, sponsored by Ted Russell Nissan, home of the lifetime warranty on Kingston Pike.
Praise ye the Lord, praise ye the Lord. It's Friday. Yes, it's Friday. And remember, brothers and sisters, you have a membership in the company of the redeemed. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for the redemption that you've given us. We thank you for Jesus who paid that price on Calvary that day. Oh, I'm so glad that he didn't call heaven's angels and take the nails from his hands and torment me. Thank you, Jesus. Lord, we thank you today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Remember, brothers and sisters, you are in a membership in the company of the redeemed. Now, that's if you know Jesus Christ, and I pray that you do. I pray that you do more than know him. I pray that you have a relationship with him, because Revelation 7:13 says, "And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence come they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb." Oh, brothers and sisters, come on now. Oh, though your sins be as scarlet, he said he will make them as white as snow. He will forgive you. Come unto him. He said, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy burdened, and I will give you rest." Are you tired of carrying all that guilt, that shame, that fear, that doubt, that hatred, that poverty? Aren't you tired of carrying all that stuff, those lies that the enemy say you can never be forgiven for? Brothers and sisters, let me encourage you today. Alice Walker said, "Every small positive change we make in ourselves repay us in confidence in the future." Confidence in knowing that Christ paid the price. He paid a price that he did not owe, and we owe a price that we could not pay. He paid it all. Do you understand that, my brothers and sisters? He paid it all. I'm so glad that he paid it all, because I couldn't pay that price. You have to keep going. Don't let the enemy tell you that all was a lie. No, Calvary was real. Those thorns that they placed on his head, that crown of thorns was real. Those holes in his hands were real. That hole in his side was real. Harriet Beecher Stoll said, "Never give up, for that is just the place and time that the tides will turn." Jesus Christ turned the tide. We were rolling straight to hell, but God sent Jesus. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Lord have mercy. It is said that we must embrace pain and burn it as fuel for our journey. Don't you know that Jesus embraced all of that pain? He embraced all the hurt on the cross. He embraced that curse, because the Bible said, accursed is anyone that hangs on a tree. And he did. He hung there for you and for me. Oh, praise God for his good and precious promises to the believers, for bodily supplies. Psalms 37:3 says, trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. For the unlimited blessings, Mark 9:23 said, Jesus said unto him, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believe. Do you believe today, brothers and sisters? Well, believe this. There's a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS. Jesus loves us.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey, folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
What have you got for me this morning? 865-457-1380, 877-711-4005. This morning on Ask Your Neighbor. Got a couple of ideas here.
The NASCAR.
Hang on, I wasn't done, honey. I thought I had that on. Okay. Got a couple of things for you here this morning. If you'd like to participate, we'll do them. First, if you want to call with anything you'd like to ask, any questions you have, 865-457-1380, 877-711-4005, and I'll give you ample time to do that. If not, I will feature this week's Sports Talk program. Walt, and Jasper, and all the crew. So with that said, I'll go to the phones. If we got calls, I'll be happy to take those calls. If not, I'm going to play our Sports Talk program. Hopefully they'll be whichever you guys want to do. Let's see what we got going. Good morning, Ask Your Neighbor.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ed.
Yeah, I've got these weeds up on the bank, or not at my house, but they're sticking out in the road. When I back out, I can't see around that curve. And I've tried everything I know to get the county to come out there. And that last time I called, she said, well, I'll put you on the list. And that's been 3 or 4 months ago. All they have to do is send that tractor out there that's got the long arm on it, and they can cut them.
Is that the road department that does that?
Yes, sir.
You've tried calling Gary?
I tried to call him, but I can't never get a hold of him. I just talked to a secretary.
Okay. Where's that? What road?
Right there on Spring Pop Hollow Road there.
Pop Hollow and what?
Yeah, where the old little store used to be.
Okay.
You know where you come up on the hill and turn left to go to Jarnigan Chapel up there?
Yeah.
You just come on down the hill and you see them right there on the bank.
What's the address? Right there where you're...
811 Pop Hollow Road.
Because if they're listening, that way they can come out and know exactly where you're talking about.
Okay, I'll try calling him again, but I don't know if I could ever get a hold of him. I mean, I've talked to him. I might get it done.
Gary listens all the time, and they come out and do that. That's, they keep that safe and cut back so people can turn in and out and all that. So I'm sure if he knows about it, he'll fix it.
The lady always tells me that they've got that long arm in Oak Ridge, and they don't come up there. I said, well, it used to come up here all the time. That old guy used to drive it. I reckon he retired, so he cut them all. I mean, he would cross the road.
Well, I see him doing it all the time to clear path for the power lines. I see it all the time.
Yeah, I know it. And my power line's got all kinds of stuff growing on it. It's got a tree about ready to fall on it now, but there ain't nobody been out there to trim them.
Well, hopefully.
I mean, if he cut that bank, it would last all winter. But I mean, it's real. People flies on that road. It's really hard to back out there.
Yeah, no, I understand. Well, they've got it. Hopefully, somebody will hear it. Let Gary know. If not,
I hope so, buddy. Would it be all right if I put my phone number on that?
Yeah, absolutely, it would.
Okay, it's 865-235-4961. And the name's Ed.
Ed, 865-235-4961.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. I appreciate that very much, buddy.
Thank you, Big Ed. We'll see if we can get her done.
Okay, buddy.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Usually Gary's listening, or somebody that's close to him is close enough. So if they can get somebody out there to cut that back. They've done it before. They'll take care of it once they know about it. It might take a little bit, and you might have to get on the list, but they will get you done. 865-457-1380. I'll come back here with more of your calls in exactly 3 minutes, or I'll come back here and we'll have a re-airing of our sports talk program. What do y'all want to do?
I mean, this is Stir the Pearl. That's right, DJ Stir the Pearl. Tune in every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. for the Pizza Express Tuesday Night Sports Talk with Jasper Young and Walt Stair here at WYSH.
Looking for a used car, but not just any used car? Are you looking for a pre-owned car that really says something? You need to check out the pre-owned cars at Mini of Knoxville. From a Bentley to a BMW, a Corvette to a Cadillac, even a Ferrari or Lamborghini. You'll find the most fabulous exotic cars at Mini of Knoxville. Not only will you find the highest line of pre-owned cars, you'll also find the all-new Mini Cooper Countryman and Clubman, as well as a wide variety of used Mini Coopers. If you've always wanted a Mini Cooper, then Mini of Knoxville is your next stop. Experience their first-class red carpet welcome and see what a difference you feel at Mini of Knoxville. Mini of Knoxville is owned by the Grayson Auto Group, so you know they're homemade right here in your hometown. Let Mini of Knoxville put your dream car or truck in your driveway today. You'll find your dream car at Mini of Knoxville, located on Parkside Drive just off Lovell Road next to Grayson BMW. See all of the cars and trucks you love to drive at Mini of Knoxville. Mini for the drive.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Happy Friday, everybody. Sure hope you have a great day and enjoy your weekend. It looks like it's going to be a nice average day ahead of us today. We top out at 80 degrees with some pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Main locations will be across the mountains with a little bit better coverage on Saturday. Your forecast is brought to you by Anakista, Gatlinburg's award-winning outdoor adventure. Ride the scenic Chondola, stroll through the treetop skywalk, and soak in breathtaking Smoky Mountain views. Anakista, there's magic in the mountains. I'm meteorologist Mike Witcher from the East Tennessee Weather Center for AM 1380, FM 101.1, and FM 99.5 WYSH.
As you guys ask, here we go. We'll do a little bit of sports talk here. A replay of Tuesday night, getting ready for tonight's football game as we take on the Campbell County Cougars. I think it's a must win. I think we got to win. Boys need it. We need it. Program needs it. We've been through some close ones. Played well the first part against Central. Should have beat Carnes. Hopefully we've cleaned up some of the mistakes. Going to see a great game tonight. Tune in, listen in, dial in.
What I've seen, they had some bright spots this past Friday, and they showed a lot of character. I mean, they didn't give up the fight. They did lose composure right there at the end of the game, and
You don't have anybody on the air. I think I just caught it. Okay. We're good. Keep your headsets on so you can hear.
Okay, are we on?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everybody, welcome into the Tuesday Night Sports Talk. We had some technical difficulties. I think Cookie is behind the boards here. He is in training, and he didn't have us on. But, again, we are waiting on our co-pilot, Walt Stair. And, like I was saying, Walt may be stuck in some of that traffic downtown on Market Street, all the detours. But again, in studio, we have Jim Longus from the Class of 87. Jim, welcome into the Tonight Show.
Thank you, Jasper. It's good to be here.
Yep. And, again, like I was saying, Clinton had some bright spots. They just couldn't finish where they wanted to finish, I'm sure. But, they got a game that's upcoming this week, which is the Campbell County Cougars at the Dragon Den, and the show will be set. It's a in-district game, so we look forward for everybody to coming out, being loud, get behind this team. It's tough for these kids to have these 0-4 records, 0-5 going into the next game, but just like Jake Dawson tells them, keep your head up. Their time is coming. They will be rewarded. And hopefully they'll come out on the winning end Friday night. But, geez, now Walt's here begging for his job back here after we let him go. Yeah. So,
oh, really?
Oh, yeah, we fired you. You wasn't here right at 6 o'clock.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Everybody called and said, where's Walt? So. No, again, what I was saying about the Clinton Dragons is that they had some bright spots. They hung up. They answered back when they needed to, but it just kind of got out of hand at the end.
Well, they had a lot of spunk to begin with, but they kept letting Knoxville Central get the big plays, and that 194-yard pass was just what sort of broke the Camel's back, if you will.
Yep. Which I thought they had a pretty well balanced attack. I mean, with some of the passing, we've completed a lot of passing, got some touchdowns out of it. So.
Well, with, of course, Maddox and Young and Hayden and different ones were catching the ball. Phillips at one point, and Alex, is that Jones? Or anyway, a bunch of the different players were catching the ball, and really both quarterbacks were doing well, and particularly Benjamin.
Yeah, and hey, what about a Bryce Maddox pulling a Johnny Burham?
Yeah, he certainly did. That goes back to 1977. That sort of shows my age, but
well, I heard you say that. Let's just go ahead and tell the listeners about that story so that they are familiar with it.
Johnny Burham ended up having to go to Oak Ridge Hospital in 1977. He was the quarterback for the Clinton Dragons, and he actually came back and played in the second half.
Yep. Kind of like a Condridge Holloway story. I don't know if you remember the Condridge Holloway.
Oh, real well.
Yeah, and he came back, and the fans just erupted when he came back out on the field. So, great effort on Johnny Condridge and Bryson's part. So,
Did you want me to talk about the games from last week, or have you gotten further into
I've not
yet?
gotten into anything other than just covering ground till you got here. But yeah, you take it away, Walt.
Sounds good. Scores from last week, unfortunately, Clinton losing to Central 51-21. Knoxville Halls 38, William Blount 24. Knoxville West 48, Campbell County 7. Campbell County is our on Friday. Powell 49, Carnes 3. Oak Ridge 35, Cleveland 7, Coalfield 63, Midway 7, Oliver Springs 35, Greenback 14, Oakdale 36, Sunbright 12, Rockwood 49, Harriman 12. That's a bit of an upset. That was supposed to be a very close game. A lot of folks thought Harriman would win. Rockwood seems like they're doing quite well. South Doyle 27, Gibbs 24 in overtime, Sweetwater 21, Kingston 19. A little bit of an upset. Those two have a lot of good ball games. Hardin Valley 21, Bearden 7. That is an upset. Bearden having lots of problems. Knoxville Grace 70, Knoxville Webb 40. That was from Thursday. That might as well have been a basketball game. I guess we started basketball early. Maryville 42, Farragut 17. Oakdale 36, Sunbright 12. And Alcoa walloped Union County. Don't remember the exact final score, but something like 64-7. And, of course, the Dragons hosting Campbell County this Friday night. Campbell County 0-5, Clinton 0-4, and a whole list of other games that I guess I'll go ahead and run those down. Midway at Harriman, Wartburg at Oakdale, Rockwood at Oliver Springs, Carnes at William Blount, Kingston at Austin East, Oak Ridge at Bradley Central. That might be the first time Oak Ridge may lose a game. They're 5-0 coming in. They'll be at Bradley Central. That'll be a tough one for them. Lenore City at Gibbs. That'll be on Thursday. Maryville at Hardin Valley. Alcoa at Fulton. Knoxville Central Powell. That will be a dandy probably for first place within the region. Knoxville West at Halls. That'll be another dandy. Rockwood at Oliver Springs. Knox Carter at Heritage, Greenville at Sevier County, Carnes at William Blount, Unaka at Sunbright, Union County at South Doyle, and Coalfield at Oneida. That runs down the whole list for this week, but not only ours, but when you look at the Knoxville Central at Powell, that's for first place within the region. Knoxville West and Halls, some of the other teams that are jockeying for position within our region.
Yeah, well, you were mentioning basketball season. I thought it was going to be basketball season before we got that Clinton and Central game over with. I tell you, I said, well, that's going to be my trivia question. Which high school has had more lightning delays than any school?
I want to know that myself.
Well, I think Clinton's right on up there. I mean, it's happened 2 times this year.
And you know what happened last night? And I went down to my mailbox to put in a bunch of mail last night pretty late, and all of a sudden there was lightning strikes continuously, and before I got home there was 12 lightning strikes.
Well, don't you go sit over there, Walt.
I mean, can you imagine?
Maybe somebody's chasing you. I don't know.
12 lightning strikes, if it's 30 minutes each time, that would be 6-hour delay.
Yeah, that would go. There goes my outdoor ping pong game, you know.
I tell you, I don't understand these lightning delays. I don't know where they're. I mean, I know there's a lot of electricity in the air, but this is quite amazing.
I'll tell you what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and get some sponsorship advertising in there. We do thank our sponsor for making this show possible, but we'll be back in about 2 minutes, and hopefully that we'll have Jake Dawson walk into the building at that time.
How you doing, sir?
Everybody, welcome back into the Pizza Express Tuesday Night Sports Talk with me, Walt Stair, and our in-studio guest, Jim Longest. We are waiting for the arrival of Coach Dawson. Hey, Coach Dawson, if you're tuned into WYSH, if you got a hat in the back of your seat, please bring that up to Jimmy Longest. I mean, he swears by it that it brings good luck. And, of course, we want all the luck that we can get. And, again, Walt, Campbell County.
Yes, I think we should end up in the win column on Friday, but that would be some extra good luck. The fact that he brings good luck. He was telling us about Iowa State and how he got a hat there and a shirt, and they beat Oklahoma for the first time in a number of years, and that alone is good luck. That's for sure.
It's the Buckeyes. Is it the Iowa State
Cyclones.
Okay, Cyclones.
Actually, their arch rival, Ohio State, are the Buckeyes.
Oh, I don't like the Buckeyes. So, hey, don't like Ohio State. I'll confess. Hopefully, I don't offend any listeners, but I just don't like Ohio State.
Well, actually, I don't like them much. I like them better than I like Michigan, but I don't like Ohio State much at all. But I don't like Michigan, and even one of my not my niece, but my cousin is a big-time Michigan fan because she lived there at one time, but I still don't like them.
Yeah, I think that Michigan game was a barn burner. Who was it that was playing this past week? It was a real close score.
Nebraska. Yeah.
Is Nebraska back?
Not yet. They're on the cusp of being back, but they have lost 26 straight games to ranked teams. And back in the old days, they would have just about won all of those.
Well, the college world got some shocking news yesterday. I guess that Bruce Pearl has stepped down as the Auburn coach, and his son is going to be taking over the reins.
That's amazing. I had seen him editorialize a lot of what's going on in Israel and Pakistan and all of the Gaza war and all that stuff. And I wondered if he was going to get his feet wet where that's concerned. And out of nowhere, that apparently is going to happen. He could very well be the next senator from Alabama, United States Senator, and Tupperville, who was a former Auburn football and Ole Miss football coach, who's now a senator, is going to retire from being a senator and run for governor. And so musical chairs, looks like Bruce Pearl will be running for senator. And I know he, in particular, doesn't like one former president named Obama, but, that's...
Well, they just need one more football coach. They need Nick Saban, and then they can save college football NIL.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I'm wondering, talking about football, look at Dabo Swinney, and who is the other one that's in trouble? Of course, Florida coach is in trouble. And
Napier.
Oh, yeah, Napier. And the guy that just got fired today from Oklahoma State.
Really?
Yeah, Gundy. I guess it's Gundy. He got fired today. And he, at one time, when we were having musical chairs with our football coaches, he was one of the ones they offered the job to at Tennessee. I guess after Kiffin or before.
Well, I think we've got the right coach.
I do too.
The road panned out for us, and of course, I had this long conversation with Jimmy this past week, about the Tennessee-Georgia game. I really, not saying this to run Hypo off by no means, but I put that Georgia game on Hypo. When you're in those positions, you've got to win those games. I mean, those are easy wins to kick that. And for the mental mistake that happens, you can't make those. They're costly. Mental mistakes can cost you a game. It's evident that mental mistakes cost us the game on it.
Oh, that's definitely true. And unfortunately, those things happen. And he lost the chess match there with Kirby Smart. And I was at that game, one of the few games I've gotten to go see in years. And I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there wondering if I was going to be on the field, even though at my advanced age, I don't know if I had gotten completely on the field, but I was going to try to get on the field to even touch the goalpost because I thought we were within 7 seconds of winning that football game.
Yeah. Well, Walt, who's the best coach in college football right now? In your mind?
Well, probably Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who I would lean towards.
Yeah, and
some people don't like him, but I like his demeanor. He stays calm. He doesn't get overly excited. He sticks with his game plans, and he puts a lot of confidence in it. And more times than any, I mean, He always prevails with it.
And I think that when you consider, and not putting them down either way, but when you consider the tremendous material and the oomph that they have out in Texas, I think that Texas coach is not as good as he should be with all the horses he has.
Yeah. Sarkisian has definitely got some loaded talent. I mean, but, the good sign about, and like I said, I don't want to knock the coaching too bad to run them off. I want them to stay here. We all learn from our mistakes. But, it was a 4-star team playing a 5-star team, and we hung with them. We had them beat. Kirby Smart even said that we deserved to win that game. So I'm going to take that. But, I officially won a W. So.
Oh, yeah. I wanted one real bad. That hurt as far as a loss. One of the most hurt losses felt in
my wife called my counselor. She said, hey, so she knew it was coming. And of course, as I seen that, they started driving with the ball and had the ball back, and say, I've seen this story before.
Oh, yeah.
And it didn't work in our favor. I mean, they do it against Florida. Georgia does against us. So. But it's in the past. We're going to look forward. We're going to move ahead. I think there's a lot of football ahead for the Vols. There's a lot of football ahead for the Dragons. And the one thing that you don't do is quit. In the middle of the season, you keep pressing on. Yeah, I remember when I played Optimus football out there in Claxton. Funnest days of my life. We were an 0-10 team, but man, the memories that you make out there on the field, you can put those losses behind you and say, man, I enjoyed being out on the field and contributing what I've contributed. And it goes on to a high school level. There's so many great and rich traditional stories that Clinton has, and just from our sports talk this year with Jerry Shattuck and Coach Gaylor and
Alvin Taylor. Man, the stories are just phenomenal. Even John Sleepy Williams. Jerry Shattuck called me up the other day and said, who was that guy that was in the studio? I said, well, Jerry, that was John Williams. That's Sleepy. He said, man, he's got some good information. When we do have some of the best historian people in our town that have... Well, Jerry Shattuck is one of his assistants in Optimus football, they were my coaches in Optimus back in 1972. Bob Williams, John Sleepy Williams' dad, was an assistant with Jerry Shattuck and Jack Pemberton back in those days.
And of course, Coach Jake Dawson reached out to me this week asking me, he says, who is the leading receiver in all-time Clinton? If I knew that number, I said, well, I would think, and I said, this is not official. I said, but, I would think Larry Sievers would be up there. But however, I reached back out to Dan McWilliams. I guess Jake reached out to Dan McWilliams from the Courier News, and Dan's got some great stats as well. But I think that he said Jaquan Thomas was one of the leading receivers for the most yardage.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which was very surprising, but I don't think that Bryce Maddox is too far behind him.
I wonder, what year was that approximately?
Well, I want to say 2013, 2014. Jaquan Thomas was about my daughter's age.
Oh, okay.
2013. So, of course, when I was the announcer up there at the Claxton Optimus football field, I did the play-by-play up in the press box, and I'd always say, back deep, Jaquan Thomas, and, he could break some runs. The guy was little. He was very small. He was about the size of Cody Parker. So I don't know if you remember Cody Parker. He was tough as nails, but he was just little, But anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and take another 60-second break. We'll come back, and again, we'll just kind of wait on Jake Dawson. Maybe he's being held over for practice. This is a very important one for him.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Certainly is.
But we'll go ahead and take a 60-second break. We'll come right back. Welcome back into the Tuesday Night Pizza Express Sports Talk. And, of course, just entering the studios, Coach Jake Dawson. He is bringing one of our Dragons with him. And sitting next to me is Xander Huffman. Xander, welcome in tonight's Sports Talk show.
Thank you.
Hey, let me go ahead and ask this for people that don't know who you are. I think you wear the 51, is that
yes, sir?
And you play offensive line, defensive line?
Both.
Oh, okay, you play anywhere that puts you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I get it. So, of course, I was talking to Cookie here, and he said that you've had your sights set on a few colleges here, Kentucky Christian, Swanee, Maryville. So,
yes, sir.
It looks like are you gonna continue with your football career after high school?
Yes, sir. Just somewhere.
Now, are you junior, senior?
Senior.
Senior. Okay. Well, let me ask you, how do you prepare this week for this week's showdown with Campbell County?
It's a win or go home. Realistically, lose, we're out of the playoffs. Win, we're still in it. So everybody's just got to buy in and got to win.
So it's one game at a time. Everything's on the line with this game.
Sir.
And, no undue pressure. Go out there, play it like it's just another game. But, I think that you guys had made a lot of great strides against Central. I mean, you answered back to some of their scoring. You all made some big plays, and I think that you're just going to learn from them. But let me ask you, who is one of your favorite athletes?
One of my favorite athletes. I mean, as of modern day, I'd say Aiden Hutchinson or Trent Williams.
Okay. So what goes into your preparation for the week of football each week? What are the motions you go through, such as film, nutrition? What is it that?
Well, nutrition-wise, I just try to eat as much as possible. But film-wise, I just got to look who I'm going up against, study their footwork, hands, what they like to do, what can beat them, and that's pretty much it.
So let's compare this year to last year. What do you feel that you've gotten more out of this year? What have you learned from last year?
I feel like we're more of a unit this year. We're more, bonded in. As much as last year, we had a little friend group here, a little friend group there, but this year we're kind of like just one big friend group. And
I know that you work with Jake, but who are some of your inspiring teammates on the team this year?
One of them have to be quarterback, Mason Eckerson. And number 50, Jackson Wilson, my left guard. Okay. Is there anything that you'd like for some of our listeners to know about you? What you want to accomplish after school? What's your best memory at Clinton High School so far? What do you want to be known for when you do graduate? Just being a offensive lineman, showing people that they can go out and do what they can do and go play college football. Okay. Well, is there any other schools that I have failed to mention on this list that's got you on their radar? I know I've been talking to some other schools, like Center College in Danville, Kentucky, and Campbellsville, and a little bit of Emory and Henry. So what would be the perfect school for you? Somewhere not too far. Realistically, I just want just a school where it won't cost an arm and a leg to go to. So financials is definitely a concern, and I get that. So if that was the case, I would have probably went to Pellissippi. That's where I stayed. So, but anyway, Xander, I appreciate you coming on tonight's show. Like I said, just want to get our listeners familiar with you. Not just on the football field, but off the football field. But do you know what you want to study when you get into what kind of degree you want to go after? I say either engineering or some type of biology. So science is
is your subject of choice. So.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, we got joining us on Facebook is Skip McMillan. Do you have Skip McMillan for any of your classes?
I have him for personal finance.
Personal finance. So, I've heard nothing but positive things about Mr. McMillan. I think he's probably one of the favorite teachers. And, of course, Cookie over here, we have a conversation. He said, man, I just love that Mr. McMillan. So, but, great teachers, great coaches. All I can tell you, guys, keep your head up, keep fighting, keep pressing on. The reward's going to come at the end, And like I said, as I said earlier, there's a lot of football to play.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
All right. We'll go ahead and take a 60-second break, and I'm going to turn it over to Walt, let him do some interviewing with Coach Dawson.
And good afternoon. We're back with the Peace Express Tuesday night sports talk. And with us in the studio is the head football coach of the Clinton Dragons, Coach Jake Dawson. Coach, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Coach, tell us about the last 2 weeks. Of course, the loss to Carnes was a very tough one indeed. And you did real well on offense and defense, and just in the end sort of got away from you. And then, of course, Central on Friday night, your offense still played pretty good. But how is morale after, of course, losing to Carnes and really a tough loss? And then last Friday night, particularly on defense, they had a lot of big plays. And are you getting your team back in the right frame of mind?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think you can never really get so caught up in one game, whether it's one way or another. Even if it's a game that we had won, we can't let a single performance, define you as a person. And, whenever you kind of get out of your own frame of mind, that's what it does. So we just preach to them like, man, if we're not going to be able to win, we're going to try to learn something from it. And every week I feel like we've gotten better in one of the three phases. And I'm just waiting for that kind of levee to break and us to be able to really put on a show.
And how the overall morale with your team, and you've sort of echoed what you're talking to them about. Are you doing any sort of exercises different or anything in general different?
No, I mean, I think we're just going to keep pounding. And, morale's great. The kids, man, they understand it. And they understand everything we're saying to them. Like, it's not going to happen overnight. Obviously, competitively, everyone wants results right away. And, that's something that'll never change. And, you want people to be frustrated with losses. I mean, you don't want anyone to be happy with it. But at the end of the day, if you can look yourself in the mirror and it's like, man, I laid it down, and I'm doing everything I can do, to take the next step forward for my guys next to me as a teammate. That's all you can do. I think morale's great, for us. We're not going to change. We have an identity. We're just trying to establish it and kind of further that. But, I think our guys are doing a great job.
I looked at some of the stats that Dan McWilliams gave to all of us, I'm sure. But I noticed on offense, or as far as passing, is absolutely beyond phenomenal. And your overall offense is almost as good as the teams that you've played so far.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing a good job offensively. We try to not rely on explosive plays. We try to get our athletes the ball in space with blockers in front of them. Our receivers are doing a fantastic job. Both quarterbacks are doing a great job. Our running backs are doing a great job. Our running backs is kind of tough for them to show up on the stat sheet, but they do a lot for us, and they do a really great job.
And speaking of the quarterbacks, I know that the second string one he's not playing as much, but he's a very capable quarterback. He, of course, played one game all the way and had a tremendous game early in the year when Benjamin was out. But any possibility he's going to play a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, I think both quarterbacks will see a lot of time Friday. I think they'll both see a lot of time moving forward. Obviously we have three guys that we feel comfortable with at quarterback, with those two, and then with Cam. For us, it's about matchups, and it's about what we're going to do on offense. We feel like we have two very unique talents, and both those kids can do a lot of great things, and we just want to make sure that both their skill sets are highlighted.
And also talking about your wide receivers, a lot of those folks are getting a lot of key catches, and I think it's actually quite impressive.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. Bryson's got, 620 yards. Will's got, I think, 274. Austin's 235. We got 3 or 4 others that are sitting right about 100. They're doing a great job. We're getting catches. Biggest thing is we want to try to sustain drives, which we didn't do early on. We, relied too much on the explosive play. But I think now we're starting to see more of those 8 or 9, 10-play drives. And, that's what you need to win a football game.
Tell us about, I know Maddox had a scare. How is he doing? And I know I was very glad to see him back in the football game.
Oh, he's doing great. It's one of those things where, certain types of injuries, you got to make sure, you can never be too careful. So, but he's very healthy. He's a fantastic kid. And it was a lot of prayers answered whenever we saw him stand up and walk off the field on his own accord.
And anybody else entered that game? I know that Arms seems like he's limping at times.
No, obviously kind of the normality of the season, having, kind of dings and nicks through there. But we're pretty healthy. I'm, pretty excited about it.
Tell us what you know about Campbell County.
Yeah, they do a great job. Coach Owenby's up in year 1 over there. You can see elements of, the wing tee from last season. Defensively, they're 3-4. They're going to play quarters. They're going to play cover 0. They're going to try to change the picture for you post-snap. But, that's a football team, and they're building. And, I think every week you see an element of their game get better. I'm excited about it.
Any particular players to watch where they're concerned?
They're pretty good on the perimeter. Number 2 and number 19 are 2 really good players. The quarterback spot, they're pretty athletic. Up front, they're pretty young, but up front, they're pretty athletic as well.
Coach, we hope there's a big win in store for Friday night against the Campbell County Cougars. Best of luck to take on the Cougars at the Clinton football field. And I guess, is it not senior night?
It is. So this is senior night, and then Powell will be homecoming. So we have 14 seniors. We're excited about it. I'm excited for those kids to be able to play some ball on senior night. I will say, I was on the way in, I was listening to the show. You're talking about Bryson Maddox. He's 203 yards away from setting the career receiving yards record for Jaquan Thomas set it, which he's a class of 2017. So that's something that may be broken on Friday night, but that's pretty cool.
That would be truly wonderful, yeah. Barring any injury where he's concerned, and you keep that ball up in the air, that could happen.
Yeah, 100%. He's a fantastic kid. That stuff couldn't happen to a more deserving kid.
Coach, thanks very much. We look forward to talking to you on Friday, and let's get a big W.
Let's do it. Thank you so much.
That's Coach Nick Dawkinson of the Clinton High School Dragons, and we'll take another break, and I guess we'll be talking to the crazy man, Sterl the Pearl, here in just a moment.
Welcome back to the P Express Tuesday Night Sports Talk. Just leaving the stadium. Leaving the station. It all begins with an S. It's a bunch of.
Yeah, did we get a stadium up here I didn't know about?
Well, I think we're trying to get Ron to put one right out here, at least a soccer field. I've used this portion up here as a golf course until the neighbor said, "Hey, you hit my roof."
Exactly.
No more driving golf balls from there.
You got it.
Unless they're plastic. So, but anyway, again, I encourage everybody come out this Friday night at the Dragon Den. Cheer on these Dragons. They need your community support. Hey, welcome in Kip Clayton. Welcome in Rhonda Roach. Welcome in to all our Facebook followers. And of course, if you're tuned in to BBB TV 12, I don't think that we're on tonight, according to Cookie, but you can go to WYSHradio.com or to our WYSH Facebook. See us live until 7 o'clock. And studio guest tonight is former Clinton Dragon, a very good friend of mine, Jim Longest, and we'll be talking with him. We're going to get into some of the old Clinton Dragon memories and some coaches' stories and such as. We'll try to, we may carry over just a little bit past the 7 o'clock hour. Walt shows up late and he has to leave early, and so, but we appreciate your efforts, Walt.
Oh, yeah.
Again, what we'll do at this point is I'm going to go ahead and kick Walt on out of the building, giving him his exit.
Oh, gosh,
Unless
already?
you got anything else you want to add, this is your last and final moment.
Well, I tell you what, you just drive a hard bargain. Okay, let's talk about the Clinton game and other games for this coming weekend. Clinton will be hosting Campbell County. Clinton 0-4, Campbell County 0-5. Other games: Midway at Harriman, Wartburg at Oakdale, Rockwood at Oliver Springs, Carnes at William Blount, Kingston at Austin East, Oak Ridge at Bradley Central. Oak Ridge could have a difficult time with Bradley Central. They're highly ranked. Lenore City at Gibbs on Thursday. Maryville, Hardin Valley, Alcoa at Fulton, Knoxville Central at Powell. That will be a dandy within our region. Knoxville West at Halls, Rockwood at Oliver Springs, Knoxville Carter at Heritage, Greenville at Sevier County, Carnes at William Blount, Unaka at Sunbright, Union County at South Doyle, and Coalfield at Oneida. I guess that about does it for me. We'll give it to this fine gentleman to our right.
Well, let me just point something out and ask a question.
Okay.
You've already reiterated twice that Oak Ridge playing Bradley Central, and that's going to be a tough game. Are you wanting Oak Ridge to lose?
Well. Well, I will just say I am not one of their biggest fans.
Yeah,
I will have to say that.
They will have, I've got to face our old friend. He's a Oak Ridge Wildcat. That's Mike Kelly.
Yeah, he's a nice fella.
He's a good guy, but when it comes to football time, hey, we just don't get along, I guess.
Well, there's a few Oak Ridge fans that I'm very good friends with. One is their voice of the Wildcats, David Clary, and I'm glad he's got that job because that's one job I would not want.
Yeah, so no,
yeah,
he's a good one. Mike is one of my dearest friends, but I was rolling down the Oak Ridge Turnpike getting ready to go call on advertising, and I hear this beep of the horn. Somebody rolls the window, roll Wildcats, roll. And I say, redneck. But yeah, Mike's a good one. He's a good one. I wish him well, and what a season makes. I mean, Oak Ridge is tough. I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due, and they're capable of getting to the state.
Oh, that's very true. Off it a bit, but they last week played Cleveland. Cleveland is now 0-5, and they were a big-time perennial power, won the state 3 years in a row in the 1990s, and they are completely falling apart. They're 0-5.
Yeah, it happens to, schools go through the cycles,
That's very true.
You're on top one year, the next year you can be down. I mean, unfortunately, in today's competitive world, kids choose to go where they want to and move where they want to, and sometimes that can be very challenging for some of the smaller schools.
I'm amazed the NIL, what it's doing in the college ranks, and so many ball teams. Gundy at Oklahoma State, I just can't believe that he was actually fired today. And, of course, that Napier there after his scalp again at Florida, I don't know how he got out of, from last year. And the guy at in the ACC that won 2 national championships.
Dabo Swinney, is he safe? Is he?
I don't know. At 1-3, and I mean, they've had more lightning strikes than they've had wins. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well, I know some people don't like saying it's the wrong color orange, but I think that Dabo Swinney is a class act guy. If you've met him personally, I remember him coming to Oak Ridge and recruiting T. Higgins. He's just a down-to-earth person. I mean, shake hands, very cordial, but college demands is a cruel world. You win or you're out, and it's just that simple.
It's amazing. 30 years ago, college coaches were making less than $300,000 a year, and now they're making, I know Kirby Smart makes probably about $13 million or more a year, and a lot of them, including our coach at UT, makes over $9 million a year. I guess you got to be under a whole lot of scrutiny when you're making that kind of money. But
absolutely. Well, you got to pay. You got to pay for results. So.
You got it.
So, but anyway, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take a 1-minute break. We'll come back. We'll let Walt exit the building now.
We appreciate it. Yes, I will be leaving the building. We're actually doing a house showing, and we've got to get home and get everything situated before the folks come in to
well, you
check
can just
on
tell
the
those
house.
people that they can wait, that you got a sports talk show, and that they can tune in, turn the radio on.
Well, you got that right.
Hey,
that's
all
just something else.
Well, let's go take a 2-minute break. Hey, well, we'll see you out at Dragon Stadium, and I'll try to remember to bring that shirt, or you're going to have to knock on my door.
Yes, I am. I'll tell you what, I'll have to come and get a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Yes, sir.
Y'all have a good one.
Yeah. All right. We'll be back. Welcome back into the Tuesday night sports talk. Here with me in studio is a class of '87, Jim Lomas. Hey, welcome to Clinton, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Hey, what's it like to be back here in Clinton?
It's great.
Out of the big city. I mean, I feel sorry for you. I hear you're over there working in the same building as our Clinton Dragon, Cecil Scarborough.
It's pretty rough. But from time to time, he'll bring me some barbecue chicken, sometimes some chicken biscuits in the morning and stuff. I don't know. It's not too bad.
Well, Cecil's always kind. He's especially the East Tennessee game and the Alabama game here just this past week offered me free tickets. I said, well, if you got those Georgia tickets, I'll take those too. So he's like,
give those up. No,
nothing.
He's got good seats over there too.
Oh yeah. Yep. Well, like I said, unfortunately, I could not make it to the game Saturday. It's my wife's birthday today. She's
happy birthday.
The 6-0, so
she's 39.
She's not happy with that. So
39, man, that's awesome.
60 years old now, so I'm not too far behind. So, but we're getting older, Jimmy.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like 93.
93. Jeez.
Feels like it.
I tell you. I appreciate you coming on the show and Max reaching out to you. I asked Max, said, hey, who can I bring on? And automatically he said, Jim Logus. And he said, I said, that's a good choice. Bring him on. Come on. So, but welcome to our show tonight. What I want to kind of hit on is, we've had some great players that have went on, done bigger things in life, career-wise. But who are some of the players that you played with in your era that you feel that's had a successful career in their career path?
Oh, wow. I mean, we've had a ton. You just mentioned Max, and he's got a successful career down in Oak Ridge. Phil Holbrook, he works for the government. He moved back to East Tennessee, I want to say maybe about 12, 13, 14 years ago. His kids are huge. One's playing at ETSU, I believe. The other two are still in high school. Brian Wilson, he went on to West Point and then went on to be a ranger. Came back and was an educator. I heard rumor that maybe he's with the police force in Oak Ridge, but he was teaching down in Oak Ridge at Jefferson and Robertsville. Some guys that weren't on the football team. You got like Chris Ramsey, and I mean he's one of the top urologists in Knoxville, excellent surgeon, and there's Joe Wallace. I know I'm going to leave out a ton, but yeah, we've got a really successful class.
We've got Charles McRae. He's now after football, after the NFL career, he did some amazing things. I think that he was a CEO of Radiology Group, and of course, I think that he's in the process of making some changes. I think so. Yeah.
And somebody who stayed in the athletic area is Andy Shattuck.
Yes.
He's the athletic director from Virginia.
Yeah,
or Maryland, I'm sorry.
Yeah, according to Jerry, of course, I had Jerry Shattuck, his father, which amazes me still, and I'm going to go ahead and mention it, but all three of Jerry's sons, including Jerry himself, was a captain of the Clinton Dragon teams.
That's something.
And that says something. And Deaver is very successful. Andy. And of course, I don't know what Luke's doing these days. He was a little bit younger than me, but I know that Andy is one of the top programs there in Maryland. It's almost like a Dobbins-Bennett. I mean, if you go to Dobbins-Bennett Field, you think that you're on a college campus.
Yeah.
It's just extraordinary. Their band, they got clean uniforms. They got they come across as that they've got their football program going on.
Yeah.
So
nobody cares about clean uniforms.
No.
Nobody cares about that.
No, I've got to say it now. Our helmets look really good this year. I think they look really sharp. So.
They do.
But again, like I said, I'm just amazed in this seat that I feel here in the sports talk is to get to hear some of the rich traditional stories that come through on the airs of this sports talk show. Yeah. But that leads me up to wanting to ask you as to what are some of the memories that instills into your mind about our program, the years that you played?
Oh, man. There's quite a few. And, when that young man, Xander, was talking, and he was talking about how the team's really gelling and, come together as one unit. When he said that, I remember, I think we were doing both our junior and senior year. We would, you're in the locker room, especially at home games, and the locker rooms are underneath, the student section. And the last thing we do, you're always yelling, you're pumped up and stuff. The last thing we did, you get dead quiet. And you had to look at every player in the eye just to let them know, you're going to give them 110%. You're laying it out on the field, every play. And we did. I mean, we played like that, but that was a tradition for Clinton. Win, lose, or draw. If you came into our house and if you won, you're in for a beating while you're winning, but usually you didn't win. And but yeah, that's a tradition of Clinton. We don't die, we never quit, and we're just going to get right back up and smack you in the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, we had some hard-nosed coaches, and
we had great coaches.
We had, they didn't cut us no slack. When it came to coaching. And I think they set a high standard for us to succeed in life. And every coach, from Coach Taylor to Coach Owens to Coach Gaylor, Coach Brown, I'm not trying to leave out any coaches because we've had a lot of coaches that have just made a lot of impact on people's personal careers. Yeah. And, I talked to Charles. He said, if it wasn't for Coach Snipeman, he said, I would have never been where I was at in the NFL. And I asked him, I said, did you miss NFL? And he said, absolutely not. But he had actually went through a lot of surgeries. I mean, he paid the price, as every NFL player gets beat, bruised, torn ligaments, torn arms, broke necks, It's a tough career, but Charles paid the price. I would have never imagined him being a pro football player after he left Clinton High School. I knew that he had the size, but his mobility, they really finessed him when he got to the University of Tennessee. And, I commend them for actually making him the player that he was. And
they had a great line coach.
Absolutely. So, and of course, we've had some other players to go on to the ranks of college football. But
no, we had great coach. I mean, you think about it just on the football team, anywhere we had Jimmy Gaylor, Mike Stevens, Dale Schnautman, of course, I was a tight end, so I was with him half the time. And then when I was with the linebackers, but Coach Engel, Holbrook, Gibson, I mean, you just keep running. And then you always have to remember Jim Mason.
Jim Mason.
That's where everybody's stories really come from. Whether they've been stabbed or they've been tortured when they've had to get their knee braces taped up and that sort of thing. So, but yeah, and the thing about it is they were dedicated. You can tell when you were playing for them. I mean, and I'm sure it's like this in a lot of small towns. As a player, the best part about the game is that stadium was packed every single week, and we didn't have that many parents on the team. It was the entire community. Entire community got behind the team. We played for the pride of Clinton, for our players, for the school. It was just awesome. And then, unfortunately, sometimes we don't realize how much our coaches care for us while we're playing for them, because they're making us run too much or yelling at us for one thing or another. But when you look back at it, I mean, everybody that has come through the Clinton program has been blessed, especially during our years. You come through in the 80s and 90s, and you were truly blessed with some coaches that not only knew how to coach, man, they cared for you. They were also educators. They were math teachers and that sort of thing. So, and that not only set you to the next level in college, just playing football, it sets you in the next level just to get through college and just go on life. I mean, we're really lucky. Really lucky.
And of course, I had Coach Gaylor on here a couple of weeks ago, and what I pointed out to him, I said, hey, you're just as passionate in the classroom as that you were on the football field. If you didn't get it, you'd think that you were a football player up there demonstrating the formulas for the algebra or whatever it is. And if you didn't get it, he's going to scream at you. You know? And I'm like, geez, I'm not on the football field, Coach. You're in my algebra class. You're going to get this. You're going to get this.
It's kind of funny when you would get mad.
His face got red. And I did bring that up to him. I said,
but every coach gets mad. Every coach is going to scream. But yeah, I mean, and he went on after he left Clinton. Everybody knows his career at Maryville, and he's deserved every honor that he's gotten, every accolade. So yeah,
that guy was prepared. He was always prepared till the end.
Yeah,
he was prepared before he had left Clinton. Yeah. And I'll never forget the night that I'd ran in to him, and he had this whole big book and was going to plead his case on a few things, and I was like, you're going to win. You're the football attorney. So, but the fact is these coaches have prepared us. And, of course, I want to kind of shift gears from where we're at now. After Clinton, you went on to play college football. Who was it that you had?
West Virginia Tech.
West Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
So when you were at Clinton, did you envision that, hey, I want to further my career? Was that on your plate at that time?
Yeah. I mean, that's especially growing up in Clinton. You play ball. I mean, our group, when we went through the Optimus League, we went 5-0. Actually, I went 4-0 because I was running back when we were Grasshoppers. But I was also one of the biggest kids on the team, so I was too heavy to stay in Hoppers. So I had to go to Grasscutters to be a running back. So that crew behind me, they started the undefeated seasons and rolled right through all the way to junior high and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, that's all you ever thought about was, I'm gonna make it up to the college ranks and that sort of thing. So,
what was that transition like going from high school to college? Did you feel that I'm gonna be able to compete for this job? Did you have to really earn that position? Because if I'm not mistaken, you were All-American up there.
Yeah, I mean, you always had that fear. I mean, I remember in junior high, in high school, they used to have cuts. I mean, you'd have over 100 kids coming out for the football team. And my brother played the 3 years while I was in junior high. He was in high school. And, the most nervous thing for me was, man, I'm going to go up there and Coach Brown's going to cut me. I don't know how I was going to face that. So you were always striving. And college is the same way. You're going to go up there and but that I wouldn't say fear, but it drives you to work a little bit harder. When I got up there was a local guy that had been working with the team over the summer, so they kind of had him designated as a starting tight end, and that just drove me. And so by halfway through the season, we were splitting it, and then he left after that season. I kind of took over and stuff.
Was there any other schools that were trying to recruit you during this time?
Oh yeah, we had a good bit. Now my dad was a chemical engineer over the plants, so most of the schools, like the Ivy League schools, they were kicked out because he didn't think that their engineering schools were good enough, and then some of the places like Marshall and places like that, and Carson Newman, they just didn't, supposedly I was supposed to be an engineer, not a CPA. So, but those programs, they just didn't fit the bill. And, the biggest one was Vanderbilt that probably recruited me and that sort of thing. But oddly enough, Cecil's dad actually got me over to West Virginia Tech. Oak Ridge was having a little mini combine and invited a bunch of the smaller schools, NAI schools and stuff. And I showed up and I was over with the linebackers at first, and I never got a chance to be over with the tight ends, and Cecil's dad went over to the coaches at Tech and said, he's going to be your tight end. So they came over to me, and the rest was history.
Now, you did a little bit of field goal kicking too now, right?
At Clinton, I did, yeah.
Yeah. Well, who is one of your favorite field goal kickers of all times for Clinton?
I don't know. I got to kind of say Jimmy Gaylor.
Jimmy Gaylor?
Yeah.
Well, did he play football for Clinton? No, he played.
Was he a classic?
No, he's actually. No. Matter of fact, Kathy Gaylor, his wife, they were introducing him to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Here just a couple of weeks ago down in maybe Nashville.
I was thinking he graduated.
But I tell you, one of the field goal kickers that comes to mind is Robert Dixon.
Yeah, yes, Robert Dixon. Because he played with my brother, and man, it doesn't matter. Unless it was a 40-yard field goal, it was going over the stands. It was going to the road. He was awesome.
Yeah, and even from the class of 80, 81, I'm not for sure what class he's in, maybe 79, 80, was Joe Williams. I don't know if you remember him.
I do, yeah.
He actually, if he played in the era with, of course, he gets on here from time to time. If I look around here to our camera, he may be there. But Joe Williams was a good field goal kicker for Clinton. And Abdul Rahman was really a good one in her later years, a little bit behind us. But have we got a caller that has called in? We'll go. If you had actually tried to call in, I apologize for Cookie for hanging up on you. Just feel free to call in. Jimmy, are you open to take any questions? As
long as they're not hard questions.
Not a hard question. Yeah, well, thank you.
Anybody's got a question for me.
But, we encourage you to call us at 457-1380 if you got questions, comments. Take it easy on Jimmy. He is a retired football player. And
the concussions, I may not be able to answer.
The concussions. We were talking concussions earlier this week. We kept on playing. We talked about Brian Wilson having a concussion, and I think that Max was telling the story. He's like, hey, he was walking in the locker room or something. He says, where are you going? He says, I'm going to church.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been carried off the field a couple of times in college. I've been blindsided on, what would now be target calls. I mean, we used to call them really great shots.
The bells. Ring the bell.
We used to, we'd ring people's bells all the time, and it was, something you did.
Well, mine came from my own teammates during practice, and that was Scott Hudson, Charlie Huckabee. Of course, when I played Little League over at Claxton, we went over to Clinton. I was back in the receive deep for the kickoff, and I took the ball, and it was up in the air. Who knows who was kicking at that time, but Mike Jones was fast. But he was also a hard hitter, and he gave me my first concussion that I think that I ever had.
Now, my brother told me that he thinks Scott Hudson is possibly the hardest hitter that he ever went against. So, and my goal was just to lay people out.
Yep. And speaking of which, we're talking about some of the great players that's come through Clinton. If you've not already voted into our community-wide survey, you can go to WYSHradio.com and vote for your top 100 Clinton Dragons of all times. We're going to be wrapping that up here just in a couple weeks. You got maybe about a week or two to vote or get your people to vote for your favorite Dragon. I think that we will announce it here on our Sports Talk, the top 100 for the Powell game. But Cookie, you're over there smiling like somebody's calling.
Yeah, they've been.
And give me fair warning who this is. If I got two guesses, that's going to be Mike Hendricks and Mike Hendricks. Who we got on the line?
How about that?
Are you caller? Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was right. It's Mike Hendricks. Hey, Mike, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good. Just been tuned in and listening to you guys. I appreciate you having Jim up there on the show. Class 87, for some reason, I can't remember a whole lot about them there.
That's because you're old, Mike. You're old, brother.
That's going to say that. Of course, I'm about 15 years behind that class, so it's hard for me to keep up with every class there. I'm not Jerry Shattuck or Sleepy Williams. I just don't retain all that information.
Well, just for a piece of information, Jimmy was on the team that broke the streak.
Broke the streak against Oak Ridge?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Well, good deal then. Hopefully we get that back in the next year or two. Of course, we did get a win in the playoffs there a couple of years ago. But I was just going to comment. I heard you, Jasper, talking earlier, and I was going to throw my 2 cents on it too there about the way Tennessee played Georgia. You force a fumble inside the Georgia 40-yard line with about 5 minutes to go. You've been throwing the ball all over the field, and you run the ball 3 straight times thinking, if I kick a field goal, I'm going to have an 8-point lead. We're going to win this. Well, not so fast. So I wasn't happy about that play calling. I don't even think Heupel was, even though he has a headphone set there, but he acted like he was a little teed off about it too, about the third down call.
Yeah.
And anyway, and then Coach Dawson there this past week there over at Central. There's probably 20-something seconds or so to go in the first half. They got the ball on their own 30-yard line, 4th down and 5. And, Clint's not built like the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell going for it on 4th down all the time. They went for it, and, of course, they didn't get it. And Central run one play and kicked the field goal.
Well, I guess in those situations, Mike, you got to try something to spark the momentum. And if they were to get that first down, I guess that would have given them momentum. But well,
I don't think they were down that much at that point.
Well,
that's armchair quarterbacking anyway.
Yeah, we are. We got some great armchair quarterbacks here, including myself.
I was going to ask you too. It's my understanding there the schedule changed up down at the Dragon Field Friday night. There, I think we were originally supposed to play somebody else, and then they flipped with Campbell County. But I understand. I'm thinking, is it not homecoming?
It is actually senior night this Friday night.
Oh, it's not homecoming. It's senior night.
No, homecoming will be against Powell, I do believe.
Okay, I think you're right. So it's not home. It's just senior night.
Yeah,
okay, then.
And then we end the season on the 31st with Halls, and that could be spooky.
Okay, then. Now, is that a region game?
I believe so. I know when back in my day, Halls was a region game. Central was a region game.
Well, back in my days, it wasn't Reeves District.
Yeah, district.
But I don't know when they flipped over to this region stuff. But anyway, I just wanted to call and get my 2 cents on. Appreciate your guests coming up, and you guys enjoy your evening there, and we'll talk at you next week.
Well, Mike, thanks for being a loyal listener. Thank you for calling in tonight. And
absolutely, bud. I listen every week.
All right, we appreciate you.
All right, bye.
Yeah. Of course, that is Mike. He does have his comments, makes valid points a lot of times, and again,
He had a good valid point on the Tennessee game.
He had very, very valid points. So, I'd rather put it on the college kids as any the high school kids. But these kids have got fight in them, man. They're and I like what Jake Dawson said today in his interview as we were over there standing. He is a great interviewer. He does an exceptionally good job conveying the message, keeping a positive attitude. And that's all that you can ask for whenever you're in that role because, again, times are tough. And bringing athletes to your schools because of the fact that there is NIL out there these days and people want to go to these bigger, high-profile 6A classifications to get the exposure, and that sometimes can affect us.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, as long as they keep fighting hard, I mean, look at, they don't have a great record right now, but they've played 2 high-quality teams. Take those back out. They played great against, I thought they played strong against Central. Central's a top 10 in
we got a call.
And so I think they just keep it going. The wins are going to come, play hard and execute.
I think we got a caller coming in. Cookie, go ahead and answer that. Sorry.
All right, sports talk. Who am I talking with?
Wimp Shootman.
Wimp.
Rex.
Jimmy was a good ball player, man. They had some good teams back then, and I just wanted to say thank you to him for, providing us a bunch of fun during those years and things. And I hate to follow up behind Mike because he always got so much to say on it. I've never left after he gets through. But I just thinking, is Maddox could he be an NIL player? How come if he is, I wonder if anybody's picked him up.
I think possibly, if we could just get him a cheeseburger deal or something, that'd be a start. So, but what an
athlete. Surprise too. He's better than that.
Well, for those that don't know Bryson Maddox, you see his name, you hear his name on the radio, but to know him as on a personal level, the kid is great. He is just an awesome kid. What intrigued me is his faith that he has. He goes over there, kneels down, says his prayers before the game. He gives his glory to the higher up, and that's just that is just a great person in my book, and he's just he keeps pressing on, even though this is a tough season for him. But yeah, I think there's some great things ahead for Bryson Maddox, and for those that have not looked at him, I think that you need to take a good harder look at this guy because he's got a set of hands that reminds me of a Larry Severs.
Oh yeah, he's got a great set of hands. He can jump out of the gym. He's talking about him having faith and stuff. And that's a wonderful thing. That's the best thing could ever happen to anybody is if they find the Lord. But he is such a role model too, and he's going to be a 2-time All-State. I don't know how many players that we've got that are 2-time All-State. We got a few, but let me tell you something. This kid, I just love him and his family because of the way that they present themselves in our community. His dad's a coach, and I really enjoy watching him coach, and it's just the Dragons fall on tough times. You can't do it all with 1 or 2 or 3 players. You got to have 22 players, and they'll build themselves up. I know that Weston Hazelhurst has got a program that's coming up that needs to be talked a little bit more about, and he's keeping those kids here, and he's training them right, and there's good things really going to happen to the Dragons. And I just wanted to call in and say, don't give up on us. Come to those games and sit in those stands and cheer those kids on. And just like Mike says, go Dragons.
Yep. Well, like I said, we've got some bright spots ahead. I think that you've got a great leader, somebody that has experienced the Clinton High School Dragon experience is Weston Hazelhurst. What a great guy. What a great role model. Doing an exceptional job with the younger kids. I perceive us to being another Maryville before it's over with because Maryville has one of the best feeder programs, bar none, anywhere in the state. They start with those kids at an early age, and I think as Weston molds that group with under his coaches, and we got great coaches even in our Optimus leagues. And I think
and he coaches on the middle school team as well. So
yes.
So he's giving back and really making a difference in this team. And I'm like you, Jasper. We're going to grow. And we're going to get better, and it's people that are surrounding themselves that really want to help Clinton High School or Clinton Middle School or Optimus Club to really want them to do well and train them up in the right way, not only in football but in other things. So things are going to turn around, and I think they're going to turn around pretty quick. And we do have a pretty good coach. Coach Dawson is, he's learning as he goes too, just like every other coach does. And he's got some tough players on the field. They play tough. It just, it's hard when you only got a few players. You got 30 or 40 or even 50 players. That's not a lot of players nowadays.
Well, I know from experience what I've seen this past week, Coach Dawson took a lot of heat. And I'm just going to tell you, if you're the people that are on Dragon Vision that are bashing our coach, we urge you, if you're not happy with the program, go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. We're here to build a program. We're not to tear it down. Hey, we're not perfect, and we're going to be working our way towards perfect. But the success doesn't happen overnight. Jake said that tonight. But I see no reason whatsoever to tear a coach that is his first year and criticize him for the job that he's doing. I ask you people that do that, would you dedicate your time to these kids? Would you what kind of impact would you make? And what he's doing for these kids, I've watched it firsthand. The relationship, he believes in the kids kids believe in him. But, it's a learning curve for everybody involved into our program. But if you bash them, like I said, we don't want you around. Go somewhere else. Go up the road.
Well, that's exactly right, Jasper. Our community's got to buy in. It's just not the ball players or the cheerleaders, the band's mom and dads. It's got to be the whole community, and you've got to give a lot. These teams that are winning around here, they've got a lot of community support. They've got some money to go with their program, and it's tough when you don't have a lot of that. And I see it being out in the community. I want to say one more thing before I go. I come up the other day and I told Ron, WYSH has been carrying these games since the 60s. And if you want to hear these Dragons, how they play, you listen to WYSH. That is the key to people that can't come, because we've got good announcers, we got people that care, they know these players, and they just do a great job. I've been listening to it since the 60s, and I know. And now I see that Ron's bought some new equipment that he might be able to televise some of these games. Hey, that's just going to build things even better.
Yep. Well, it might just help me, because I get excited when new things are offered in this community to give people and the football team exposure. And the teams can't get enough exposure. I mean, there's people from out of town that still calls in and says, hey, how can I pick up the game? They still rely on us as a anchor to this community. We've been an anchor to the community, like you said, since 1960. Broadcast, tradition goes far in Clinton. And I urge you, and I appreciate you as a listener, Wimp, to tune us into WYSH. Some small towns are not as lucky as Clinton to have a radio station. And, I think sometimes things are taken for granted, and we try to do our best to give you the coverage as a listener out there for these games. And, of course, like you said, we've had some great announcers. We prepare every week. We do have our ups and downs. We get faced with technical difficulties sometimes. We get lightning strikes that'll knock us out of power, and here we are with no broadcast on, but we're always diligently trying to get things improved for our listeners of Anderson County. But if you are a listener, I want to hear your feedback. I want to know your ideas. We're not just here to turn the airways on. We want to know what the community wants. You tell us, Wimp. You've had some great ideas over the years, and we've ran with those. And like I said, I just encourage any of the listeners that have any comments about the broadcasts,
Well, I'd like to see more people call in. I know the people are listening, but sometimes they don't want to call in. They want to listen, but I really would like to see more people call in and give their contribution to what Clinton and Clinton sports is all about. And I don't know who those couple announcers are up there, but man, they're doing their best, and they're pretty dang good. So I just advise anybody to tune in and listen to WYSH.
Well, we've got one that's in the mix that's rising up star, doing a fantastic bang-up job, and that's James David Meredith. Even though it's the owner's son, he has done a phenomenal job with illustrating the game. I like his energy and his passion. And
he knows the game now. I'm telling you what, I listened to him, and man, he knows what he's talking about. For a young man like that, and then he got an old man for a teacher up there, so that really helps. And no, I'm just kidding, Walt. You're one of the best. Buddy.
Now, Walt had to leave. He had a show, and I told him, just get on out of here, Walt. I said, you showed up late. Now you got to leave early. So.
Well, I hope he's listening because he does a lot for our community, and he really cares. But, like you say, James David's going to be a special announcer one day today. You mark my word, if that's what he wants to go into, he'll be a success in that. But you know what? Everybody in this town's got a success story. And many of them, it came from being at Clinton High School, either playing the sports if they wanted to or digging into the books a little deeper. We got lots and lots of doctors and attorneys. We got journeyman apprentice and stuff like that. Everybody in Clinton has contributed some way to who we are. And I just want to say thanks. That just means so much to me.
Well, we appreciate you calling in. And like I said, we urge everybody to call in with your questions, your comments. It takes the right chemistry. My first year at this with as sports talk, I was like, well, when is the right time? When does everybody get home? Do we want to do it 4:00 in the evening when all these other sports talk? No, my thought process was to be able to go to social media at 6:00, offer something for when people get off work that they can tune in, listen to. And, my biggest challenge is to reaching out to some of these alumni because, this program is strictly for our Clinton alumni. We want to share that. We want to continue to build that tradition here at Clinton High School. And we've had some good interviews on.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you go, Jasper. I just I sit here and I listen, and I just want to say how I feel sometimes. And this is an outlet to be able to do that, especially for our sports program.
Well, just go ahead and try to get that tip jar for me so I can be able to eat.
All right, buddy.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
Bye.
Yeah, that is Wimp Shipman. Wimp is a great follower to our program. He's before his accident with his knee, he was out there hanging signs, sweating, doing all that he can for our football field. And that stuff that goes on behind the scenes, people don't know what all is involved with that. Yeah. Just like Crawl Daddy down there, Greg Crawford. Him and Archie, they're always trying to maintain the football, getting filled. There's a lot that goes in that the people don't know that what it takes. It's not just flipping the switch on and bam, it all appears. Yeah. But there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go into getting ready for the games.
Yeah, and Wimp and them, and that's kind of what I was talking about. You have the whole community behind you. They're chipping in, doing the stuff behind the scenes. There's no place like it. To get the support, and I hope the kids are done. I hope they're, a lot more lenient with coach. Just first year, it's high school. It's not like you can recruit across the nation or anything like that. So, but it sounds like we got a good feeder system. It's going to start up with Weston and with Hazelhurst and just, it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes a long time.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and rewind. I know the role that Weston is playing now. And golly, it's just a phenomenal person. But who were some of the coaches that you played for during your years at Clinton Optimist?
So we had Randy Morrow, Phil Holbrook. We have Mr. Miller and I always call him Mr. Miller.
Is that John Miller's dad? Or?
No, Ronnie Miller's dad.
Ronnie. Okay.
And I've always called him Mr. Miller. And some of those we still tell some of the funniest stories because Phil Holbrook always had. And I wonder if he may be listening. I don't know if he is or not, but he always had chewing tobacco in, always. And you only complained once about anything. Your arm hurt or whatever, and he'd look and smile. Doesn't matter if it's baseball, football, whatever. Let me rub some tobacco juice on that. And if you were dumb enough to let him, if you're dumb enough to keep on complaining, he'd spit on your arm and he'd rub it in real good. That's the last time he complained.
Things they did as coaches would just not be told.
I know.
I sat in office with Jerry Shuddy. He said the things that I did, he said I'd already been fired as a coach.
I know, probably sitting in jail or something like that. But, those were great. And we were even blessed with those coaches. They knew the game. They really taught you. They taught you a lot, and they cared about you. They were part of the community. So.
Yeah. Well, I had Max Bertram on last week, and I threw this out there. There are families that has 3 or more siblings that played football, all brothers. There was 4 or 5 that I mentioned. You got the Wallaces, you got the Scarboroughs, you got the Shaddocks, you got the Weavers, and I think I forgot to mention the Millers last week. And I even talked to Ron. They had 4.
Didn't they?
So is there anybody else? And of course, the Fritz.
Yeah,
the Fritz. Now, is anybody else have more than 4 siblings that played football at Clinton? If they do, they got enough to make a football team.
Did you? Wits.
Wits. Had Scotty, and I don't think that his brother played. I know Richard Witt, which is their uncle. This is strictly brothers, all brothers.
Oh, no. Cookie got it.
We did. All of us did.
Well, and of course, I don't want to miss out on the generation after me because I'm old, 85, less of 85. So, but who was it, Cookie? I had some.
We did. All of us did. All of us boys did.
Yeah.
You had 3.
You said Scarboroughs, right?
The Scarboroughs.
You said Scarborough, right?
I think I did say Scarborough.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss
the one that's spelled correctly or incorrectly?
Incorrect.
Because I saw that telecast.
Yeah. Cecil pointed that out. I said, "Okay, Cecil, that ain't me doing the spelling." I went ahead and threw that off on Max. But I do want to again thank Max for putting on. He's made life a whole lot easier for me with this survey that we have taken, and Max has just done a phenomenal job to get me the reports. And again, if you've not voted for your top 100 Clinton Dragons of all times, go to our WYSH Facebook or our WYSH radio.com website and cast your vote. We will be announcing the top 100. We'll be closing it down here in the next 2 weeks, be announcing it on our sports talk for the week of the Powell game. So we've got, matter of fact, Robbie Harrell, the Goldens. Yeah, Johnny, Freddie, and Eddie. Yeah. Now, did they all play football, Robbie? I know that they
Johnny
played.
Did. Johnny played football. You and senior amount.
And of course, Freddie might have played football, but of course, I know the Goldens for basketball.
Yeah,
those guys were just phenomenal basketball players as well. But thank you, Robbie, for your input on that. So, but yeah, there might be some other families past 85 that I'm not aware of that has either 3 or more siblings that has played for Clinton. Of course, Scotty and Robbie, they both played, but I don't know if that third brother played, but his son Jackson is playing for the Clinton Dragons and doing a phenomenal job. He's just a tough, hard-nosed football player for Clinton. So. But Jimmy, I think that, have you got anything else you'd like to say? Shout out to? Wishes?
Let's see. Dragons by Fitty.
Fitty?
No. My actual prediction, it's not going to give him bad luck if I give him a prediction, is it?
Let me go ahead and
since I have my hat on?
Yes. So, Jimmy's being very superstitious. 31-10. And
31-10.
That's a superstitious vote.
No.
Well,
the Dragons are going to whip somebody.
But you got this hat, this dragon hat. Let's zoom in on that hat.
Get that dragon hat,
Coach Dawson.
Because I'm losing all my hair right here.
Yeah.
So,
but
I'll throw the hat on.
Coach Dawson brought him a hat because he felt
a little superstition. 31-10.
31-10.
31-10.
I'm ready for a win. I'm ready for 31-10 and to win.
I think it's going to be there.
Yeah.
It's going to be at home. Senior night.
Yep.
Motion's going.
31-10 and win. We got the 10 man right there. So
there you go. All right. Do we get any free sandwiches or something?
Free sandwiches.
Did I get that right?
They had some up there in the press box provided by Hammocks.
I'm at the game.
Hammocks. And they, I'm going to go ahead and give Jason Hammock a shout out. He comes there and takes care of the press box with their food. They give a $50 gift card for the Hammock's player of the game each week. And, I want to thank Kathy over at Pizza Express, always providing us with great pizza. And I say it again, time and time again, that she is a contributor to our community. She gives back every chance that she has an opportunity to. We don't see that in corporate America today. Mm-hmm. But I urge you that if you like pizza, and it's some good pizza, go to Pizza Express, support them. Tell them you've heard them here on Sports Talk. But if I'll go ahead, open the lines up. If you want to call, give it the last shot to somebody call in with questions or comments, or just to call in and say, go Dragons, feel free to do so. But I'll go ahead and take a 1-minute break. And if we don't have any calls, we'll go ahead and wrap it up and go to the house. Well, welcome back into the Tuesday Night Sports Talk. We didn't have no caller, so I think, Jimmy, that says that, hey, we did a great job covering everything tonight. Again, I'm
tired of hearing us.
Yeah, I guess they're ready to
They're ready for next
lay down. But until next week, I want to say go Dragons. Come on out. Make those bleachers rowdy. The kids need your support. Good, bad, or ugly, come on out there and support the kids. But until next week, Sports Talk, we say go Dragons.
Thank you for listening to AM 13.